Oh.
Oh, oh,
Oh! No way he just did that.
Hello folks and welcome to This Week in Surf. This is the weekly update for insiders, KSF no-lifes, and aspiring 85 tick children. I am your host, Rapster. There are actually no record updates for this week, so we can get right into the news and then top 5. Trick.surf has just released, with 4 new servers, including a 24/7 surf park galore. This got a ton of play during the playtest, so I think y'all are gonna love this. And it's a whole new way to surf if you're bored of skill surf. I tried it on stream and will likely make a video about it because it was just so much fun. But if you don't know this already, CS 1.6 is the game that precedes Counter-Strike Source. This is the first time I'm talking about this game on my channel. Frozen has done the first time ever skip on Surf Desert Cave. Now you probably don't know this map, but he saves 11.38 seconds off the record with this skip, and it is the first time that has been done since the map's release on the same settings in 2013. So, CS 1.6 comes before Source. It's basically the same game, but it is a whole other universe of maps and strategies to learn. If you didn't know this, Dawson is basically the Levi of CS 1.6. Don't quote me on this is what I've heard, but I've also been seeing the names Wang and Suzuki a lot. This is the record on Surf Anubis by Dawson. It is extremely hard, just like the Source version of Anubis. It's obviously different, but I could not even get past the 3rd or 4th ramp, and I've been surfing for a very long time, so if you're looking for another challenge, this is probably it. I spent a bit of time on their servers on stream, and they popped in. They were super welcoming and willing to help me learn how to acclimate to this. You should probably check out Surf Gateway if you haven't already. This is their footage, and there are hundreds of maps and records that you've definitely never seen before if you haven't seen this channel, and there's links to their servers in the description below in each video if you want to try it out. But last in the news, the biggest combat surf tournament of the year has just finished. With $700 on the line, this was hosted by Darth Elmo in collaboration with Karma and Spaced Out. Team El Honcho won the tournament. You might not know these names. Cloud, Corey, and Suki are officially, by tournament standards, the best combat surfers this year. The organizers were gracious enough to let me come on and ask them a few questions about combat surf, and I called the winners. In semifinals, they asked, who do you think is going to win? I said it was either El Honcho or Wiz Cried and Random, and then the final 2 teams were those 2 teams. But I won't pretend to know anything about this game, because the people who play this and the organizers were experts, and this game goes really deep. So if you're looking for something way out of pocket, and you like CSGO, this is the perfect combination of a game, and you should definitely try it out. And this brings us to our honorable mentions, which I am so excited to talk about, because Dizrez gets the record on Surf Rans. This was the oldest world record on KSF by Ollie from August of 2018. That's 4 years. You gotta give it to him. I've been watching his uploads for at least a year. Not too long ago, he was just completing all tier 7s. But here's the problem. Usually with a record like this, they're looking for the record to be taken by a large margin because it was an old record with like 6 seconds at least to be taken off the record. But that's okay, because Dizrez he can come back and actually set that record he wants to. Let's see if he does. Next is Roller on Void. 3880 is the time that he set after a week. The only reason we're talking about it is because Tux and Saxton tried it out, so this is like the bare minimum, the standard of what a good run is going to look like, and we can look and see how this evolves from here. Lastly, Junichi K beat the map world record on Surf Eggplant by 0.01 while Ludwig was in the server. If you don't know who Ludwig is, it's a big influencer. I'm not even going to put the thing on screen. Just know if you know who that is, big W for Junichi. Looked really good. Next, Donkey beats the map world record on Surf Marble Blast by 0.25. This is a retake from 274. I don't know if this is correct, but it looks like Donkey has had this record exclusively since its release, until it was broken by 274 a couple weeks ago. So it's been taken back, and we could expect this battle to continue if 274 responds. Marble beats the map world record on Static by 0.3. Not super tight, but I think the top 2 times are, because the previous record holder was Joshua. According to Marble, there's still a second left off of Josh's time, and they both made mistakes on the last stage. It's still amazing to see, since it's such an old map being run by a modern surfer. Although Joshua did ask Marble to fix the record because apparently it wasn't good enough for either of them. Number 3 this week is Manana on Tranquil, minus 0.1. This is a record previously held by Michaela, Emil, and Levi. Here are Manana's notes from the run. He was typically even on checkpoints 1 and 2, but kept failing this section after this spiral, and failing the big skip over the wall after checkpoint 2, which is hard. It had a really good checkpoint 3 though, which is nice, He spent a lot of time on the map up to that point, and he was pretty burnt out, so he just wanted a run and he got it. But this brings us to the number 2 run for this week. Marble on Plethora by 0.1. I was convinced at the last minute to bump this up because Marble told me himself he didn't like the record. But the reason why this gets number 2 is that Plethora has been in multiple tournaments and been ground down by some of the best surfers. The previous holder was Levi, and it had stood since 2020. While there's a lot of plays to save time, this end is absolutely insane. I don't really understand how Marble is even doing it. Rank number 2, in lieu of what's to come, probably an easy rebeat for Marble if he wanted to. We'll have to see what happens. The number 1 record of this week, again, is Sinky on Surf Nice, with 1.03 seconds taken off the record. This is a Tier 5 stage map, previously held by Cryptus, but also held by Zazbu for over 2 years. Sinky is green on every single stage. That means he is faster than the previous record on every single stage in the map. This is what we're looking for on Rands. This is what we want on maps where we want to set a really good record. It does just seem to be tighter cuts and lower flicks, less moons essentially. Just for reference, Sinky has 15 hours in zone. That's how long it takes for the best surfers to get an amazing time on a map, and it doesn't include save lock. So if you want to get good at a map, you're going to have to put that time in. I want to give 2 quick shout outs. The first is the Surf Gateway, which is an amazing YouTube channel for CS 1.6 that I haven't been able to discuss yet. I think you should definitely check that if you want to see more surf footage. But also to Dizzy, who brought XQC and Pokey onto a private again and was teaching them surf. Like, he's blowing everybody out of the water in terms of exposure and helping this game mode continue to thrive. I didn't expect it, nobody expected it, and nobody expected him to then beat Elysium yesterday, just out of the blue, now a Tier 5 surfer, like, after a month? This is pretty crazy. We're so glad to have you here. I mean, sorry for mentioning you too many times, but I hope you have a good one, and good luck sliding those triangles.